Hi Prakash, how are you? Okay, Bache, we have done with our basic part of analysis of the transaction. Today, I am just going to go a little ahead of what we did last time and start with the journal entries, beta. Today's part is to start with journal entries, and I believe in a couple of days we'll be done with this chapter, and we'll go to the other one also. The other chapter now, ledger wala. That ledger chapter is very basic and very easy to understand, beta. Because I'll tell you what, in ledger there is nothing you need to remember, understand. It is just the flow. It's the format. So a couple of questions in that chapter will be very easy for you. Okay. ठीक है अच्छा I'll have to okay, this is the thing. I'll just erase this and then we'll solve this question. I am going to share you with the PDF, Prakash. Okay, so first you have to pay attention, you have to help me out with this, and then afterwards you will write it together. Okay, but in the very first couple of questions I want you to look at it, understand, and then afterwards write it, because I don't want the focus to be distorted. Chalo. This is the first question. Before I go to this question, what we did last time, we just revise that. Revise in the sense, I'll tell you how that analysis is going to help us into the journal entry. Okay, and from today onwards, or I believe in the next lecture, we'll not do the analysis. We'll do the analysis of transaction only when it is required, that it is difficult for us to understand or to crack that transaction. We will be doing all the questions without the analysis. Yeah, it is going to take a little while, a long time to do the journal directly. But believe me, after a couple of questions of journal, you will forget also the analysis and you will be able to do it directly. That's what is the catch. Okay, chalo. So here it is. This is our book. I guess Prakash. That's why Laksh. Here it is. So this is your accountancy ka book. This is what we have done till now. See, there are many transactions that we have taken care of, and I believe that the purchase and sale transaction, they both are done. One more is remaining. That is about the expenses. So we'll do that expenses wala part also. It's a very small part about the expense and income. So that's it. Like 3 to 4 transactions, and they are like you are done with it. Okay, we'll do that. Then the journal wala part, and you're done with this. Okay. Now look at this very carefully, yeah, Prakash. The format for the journal is something like this. There is no change in the format for any question. Huh? The format remains static for each and every question at every level. Okay. So this is going to be your. I'll name it also what it is. Okay. And this is the lines that you need to make, and that's the format for your journal beta. Okay. Here the first one, journal of whoever it is, right? This is a date column. This is going to be your particulars. This is going to be your LF. LF means ledger folio. LF means the ledger folio. Now, what do you mean by ledger folio, Prakash? Folio actually stands for page number. Folio is page number, and ledger is the second book of accounts. It's a book of account actually. Okay. Now we'll study about that ledger wala part in detail in the next chapter. As of now, just remember this is the second book of accounts. Okay. And in that book, what page this transaction is being reflected is the meaning of this column. We'll never write in this column. You'll see, and you'll find it. You'll come to know after a couple of questions. So this is the debit side and this is the credit side. I'll go very slow in the very first couple of questions, and after that you will be able to catch up also. So this is the debit side and this is going to be the credit side. Do you understand this? So date, particulars, debit side and the credit side. Okay. I'll just cut paste it because we're going to do one more question. No, it'll be very easy for us. And here it is. Yeah, done. Okay. Chalo. Now, how do we record this, Prakash? Just have a look at this. I'm just taking the very basic questions that we did last time. Okay. Here, the very first transaction. See, what I am going to be concerned with, I am going to be concerned with this part. Okay. You need to just tell me what is being debited and what is being credited. That's it. See, cash account, debit, capital account, credit with 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Remember this very carefully, yeah, Prakash? Cash account, debit, and capital account, credit. Amount is 1 lakh. How are you going to present this in the journal format? The respective dates will be given to you in the question. Here I am writing serial number 1234 because I haven't given any dates for the question, for the analysis of the question. Okay? Cash account was being debited. So what I'll do here, I'll write here cash account debit. So you start right over here, write the cash, whatever the account name is, write account, and then here you need to write debit. Here you need to write debit. Okay, DR stands for debit. And the amounts 1 lakh. I'll repeat that once again, Prakash. Cash account is debited, so I'll write first. I'll write the serial number or the date, whatever is given in the question. You write that. Just besides the line, you start writing the name of that account. That is cash account. So cash account, and then if it is debited, so just next to the LF column, you are going to write debit. Okay, and this is a debit amount, so this is debit column. So write in the debit column 1 lakh rupees. Is it very clear, Prakash? Too good. So cash account was debited. One thing is done. Cash account is debited. This is done. Then we have capital account that is credited with 1 lakh. So here, listen to this very carefully. Yeah, Prakash, you need to remember that whenever you write the credit, you need to use two finger space. Okay, you need to leave two finger space and write here two capital account. And there is no need for you to write credit over here. For debit, you need to write debit. But for credit, there is no need to write credit. What you need to do instead, you need to leave two finger space and start with 2 and whatever the account is. Okay, and the amount is to 1 lakh. So we are going to write it in the credit column. See, it is a credit column, na? Credit item, credit column. Prakash, I am going to repeat once again. First is debit, so I will write here whatever date is cash account, and I will have to mention over here debit and amount in the debit column. For the credit, Prakash, you need to leave two finger space. You will have to always start with 2. For credit, you will always start with 2. Write whatever the account name is, that is 2 capital account over here. There is no need for you to write credit. Prakash, I'm going to say it again and again because students tend to write credit. They think that sir has forgotten to write credit over there. Sir has written debit, but sir ने credit लिखना भूल गए. No, I haven't forgotten that. It is not written. The indication that it is being credited is by this 2. And why do we write 2? It's like a basic, it's like the tradition that we have. I'll tell you about this. In fact, when we'll do the ledger part, it is more interesting over there. You'll be able to understand also. But today, I'm going very slow, trying to make you understand this, that the entry has to be written in this format. Okay? And after this, Prakash, just help me out once again. Na? How would I do this? First, I write the date, then cash account, and then I'll write here debit. Okay? then the amounts over here on the debit column. For credit, I'll have to leave two finger space. I'll start with 2. Then I'll write whatever the account is, that is capital over here, so 2 capital account. I need not write credit over here. I'll directly write the amount over here on the credit side, that is 1 lakh. Do you understand this? Pakka? Done. So that's the. Achha, now what do you call this, Prakash? This is called as journalizing. What is this called as? Journalizing. Can you remember that? Perfect. So from the analysis of the transaction, you are journalizing the transaction, means passing the entry in the journal. So in the journal book, if you are writing the entry, that is called as journalizing. This will be helpful for you in your objectives part. Okay, Prakash? Too good. And what are you going to do here is, now this is a very basic and a very explanation part. I know accountancy. I have passed this journal entry. Okay. You are learning this journal entry. You are studying this journal entry. You will be a pro in this, inshallah, in the future. You will also be able to understand. I am also able to understand. But there are people who are not from the commerce background. They do not understand what is a journal entry. They don't. Yes or no? Not everybody is learning accounts, right? So for the non-accounts people, they should know what is written over there in the transaction. So for them, we write what have we narrate them about that transaction or about that entry. So this is called as narration, beta. This is called as narration. In narration, what you're going to write is, first you're going to write being. Every narration starts with the word being. Do you understand that? So first you'll write being, and then afterwards you'll be writing the question only. What is the question? The question is started business with cash. That's it. So what you're going to write here is being business started with cash. There is no need for you to write the amounts, just this much. And that is going to be your entry. I hope you are able to understand this and just draw a line. Khatam. So here, this three things constitutes a journal entry, beta. What are the three things in this? We have one debit, we have one credit, and we have the narration. This is called as the narration. Now the question arises that all my narration starts with being. Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, all narration starts with being. And you can write anything in narration, beta. It has to be according to the transaction. If you want to write being business started, that's fine. If you want to write started business with cash, that is fine. You can like change the active voice or passive voice or whatever, however you want to write, you can write it. But my suggestion would be, just don't write, just don't keep on writing the big sentences, because that's a waste of time and a waste of energy. Okay, but the underlining point is that whenever you write the narration, it has to start with being, being. Have I made myself very clear, Prakash? Sure. Can I speed up a little now? Too good. You must have done this in your classroom also in your school, correct, na? But this has to be like done very slowly with me first, so that it is very understood, and then afterwards I will pick up the pace. Can we go ahead now? Chalo. The next one, you are going to help me with this, Prakash. Started business with cash. We have done this, right? Now we need to pass the journal entries on the basis of this. Have a look at this. Cash, debit, goods or stock, again debit. So basically here we have two debits. Okay, and we have capital, that is credit, 25,000. So definitely we know that the debit amount has to be equal to the credit amount. Okay, so cash, debit, goods or stock, debit, capital, credit. So how are we going to write this? Firstly, so cash account. So we'll write cash account. Prakash, tell me. I am going to debit it, right? So I'll write a debit. Pakka na? Then goods account, or you can also call it as stock. The stock account, again you will be writing debit, because it is debited. I remember the amount was 10,000 and 15,000. Okay. And now the credit, Prakash. Chalo. What was the catch with the credit? We'll have to leave two finger space. Very good. And write here to what? The capital account. And the amount on the credit side. Huh? And what did I ask you to remember? We did not write the credit over here. Because we are leaving two finger space and writing 2. So two parts are done. Here, in this question, we had two debits. So we have written two debits. We have one credit. So we have written one credit. Pakka na? Then the narration. The narration will always start with being. Now, what was the narration? So we'll just go to the question. We'll simply write what is there in the question without the amounts. Huh? Started business with cash and goods. Okay. So just same to same. Chapo 5. Here you are going to write being started business with cash and goods. Draw a line. Khatam. That's the journal entry, and that is what you are going to do for the rest of the questions. Okay. Chalo, quickly. Now the next transaction that we have over here, that is started business with cash, furniture and bank loan. Okay, now look at this, Prakash. Now there are 3 to 4 transactions at one time. They are telling me that cash is debited, furniture is debited, capital is credited, bank loan is credited. Okay, so two debits and two credits. So first I'll write cash account debit, furniture account debit. Chalo. Yeah, Prakash, help me out. Cash account debit, furniture account credit. Okay. Then we have two credits also, Prakash. So here the two credits are what? This and capital and bank loan. Credit. So two capital account and two bank loan account. The catch with the credit was to write two capital, leave two finger space. That's it. There is no need for us to write the credit over here. Two capital and two bank loan account. And definitely we have the narration. Being started business with cash, furniture, and taken a loan. This is the narration. Okay. Now we just have to write the amounts. Help me out, Prakash. The amounts would be for cash we have 15,000, furniture we have 3,000, capital is 13 and 5. So 15, 3, 13, 5. But for capital, sir, you will not write in the debit column. You are writing the credit column. Okay? Now, Prakash, now I'm not going to waste your time by writing the narrations and all. You know how to write the narration. Being whatever the transaction is, just write it over there. Pakka? Clear? I will just draw up a line so that this transaction is done. Achha, now do not make a mistake of drawing the line like this, Prakash. This is not the right way. What you need to do is, it is going to be from particulars to particulars. That's it. Again, let me repeat that. You are not going to take it from the date column to the amounts column. No. It should be only till here. If you don't put the line, then also it's fine. But if you put a line, it shows that it is distinguished. That this is the first transaction, this is the second transaction. I hope you understand that. Okay. So that's a little protocol that I follow, and you need to follow that also because it looks very presentable. है ना प्रकाश? चलो now coming to the next one, fourth one, purchase the furniture for cash. So here furniture debit, cash credit, 10,000. चलो प्रकाश, I am not going to say anything. You have to say it. I am not saying anything, ना प्रकाश? I leave a line over here. I hope you are telling me. You don't have to be so fast. Okay, here you will be writing what? The narration. Being furniture purchased for cash, whatever it is. I am not going to write the narration henceforth. It is understood because it is very easy for us to write, just to copy and paste. वो नहीं करना है मुझे. I will be doing little more transactions with you from analysis part to the journal part, so that it becomes very easy for you, and it is on a practice. Okay. Next one, fifth one, deposited cash into bank. The other two transactions are what? Bank debit, cash credit. 10,000. Bank debit, cash credit. Bank debit, cash credit. So here again, we do not have the date, so we'll write the serial number, that is 5. So bank account debit, amount is 10,000, Prakash, and cash account credit 10,000. So the thing is, I cannot hear you, but you can always type and comment, so that I'll be able to like tell answer you back also. ठीक है? We are doing this because we'll be having the records, Prakash, है ना? In the future also, if you want to refer to these questions and all, we can go through it and revise that stuff. Chalo. Now the next question. Now the next transaction, in fact. Prakash, I do not have enough space, but the questions are still there. The transaction is still there. I think one more transaction can be, we can fit in. Yes, we can fit in. Here, withdrew from bank 1,000 rupees, cash account being debited and bank account being credited. Here it is. This is the transaction. So cash account debit and bank account credit. So Prakash, do you understand this? Now I do not have any space. Okay, for any other transaction, but I do have some transactions ahead. That's the end of my page. Acha, quite possible you must have a couple of more lines, or you can fit in one more transaction, or you must have your page were done before this transaction also. It depends, because your handwriting and my handwriting is different, and the number of lines in this um, PDF and in your book it might be different. Okay, so what happens when your page is insufficient to accommodate the whole question, to solve the whole question, to present the whole question? In this situation, in the journal chapter, Prakash, listen to this very carefully. What you do is, first you need to take the total of the whole page. Take the total of the whole page. Let us do that. 1 lakh, 1 lakh 25. 1 lakh 25 plus 30 is 1 lakh 38. 1 lakh 43. 1 lakh 53. 1 lakh 63. 1 lakh 64. So I am getting the total as 1 lakh 64. Calculate the amounts properly, Prakash. I do not know. I'm not going to calculate once again. Let us take 164. I am dead sure about it. But if it is, let me know. Okay, Prakash. This is 1 lakh 64,000. Definitely the debit amount and the credit amount will be equal only. So this is also going to be 1 lakh 64,000. I'm not going to calculate once again, because the debits amount and the credits amount are always equal. Okay. So my first step is to take the total of the whole page. First column, if it is 164, definitely the other column also has to be the same, 164, because debits and credits both are equal. First step is done. The second step, now Prakash, second step, you are going to take the balance to the next page, and this is called as balance CF. This is called as balance CF. That is balance carried forward. The full form of this is balance Carry forward. Now I'll write this with a different pen so that it is remembered. I'll take blue one, okay, and the total also. Done. Okay. So that's the very first page of my journal book. Journal book is also called as the book of first entries, or the book of prime entries, I would say, not the first. It's the first book of accounts, or I would say it's a book of prime entry. Remember this, Prakash, because this is going to be asked in your objectives. Correct? Let me narrate and run through this. First, the journal entries. In that, you'll write the date. If the date is not given, you'll write the serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. Then debits has to be written always, 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 always in the first line, and then afterwards the credits. Achha, now the doubt many times, Prakash, I get is, sir, what if I'm having two debits, one credit, and by mistakenly I've written one debit, then credit, and then debit? Is it okay? No, this is not okay. All the debits has to be written first only. Then you can write credit. For example, let's say in this transaction, this is a transaction, so you cannot write cash account debit to capital account and then afterwards goods account debit. No, you cannot write this. So this is not the right format of writing it. So how are you going to present this answer, Prakash? It is going to be cash account to capital if you have one debit, one credit. But if you have more than one debits, so it has to be the debits has to be written first and then the credit. Prakash, I am going very, very, very slow with this. I hope you are able to understand. And you will keep on doing the entries, 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 and you will reach at the end of your page, and the question is not yet done. In this case, what you'll do is you'll take the total of the whole page, that is going to be 164, 164, and this is the balance that you're going to take in the fresh page, and that balance is called as carried forward. Balance carried forward. Pakka, Prakash? And this is getting on the new fresh page. It is called as balance BF. That is called as balance brought forward, beta. Do you understand this? And it's like just the English language one. There's nothing for you to understand. So that is balance carried forward. This is balance brought forward. Okay. So you can write CF and BF in the examination. There is no problem. Okay. Debits here, bache, try to write debit and credit. Okay. Let me also just, because I use a lot of shortcuts, so you must get confused on what are the shortcuts am I allowed with. So I'll just tell you that this shortcut is allowed, this shortcut is allowed, so this shortcut is also allowed. This short form actually. Okay, there is no need for you to write DEBIT over here. That's no. You can write debit over here. Okay, so balance CF and then the balance BF. Achha, what was the total of the amount of that page? 164. You're going to the fresh page. You start with 164. Okay, Prakash, I hope you are understanding this. 6 questions were done. Now coming to the next one, 7. Chalo. Now it will be very easy also, and we can pace up a little. Yes or no? Next is drawings, debit, cash, credit. So drawings account, debit to cash account. So here I am going to write the 7th transaction, drawings, account, debit, 2 fingers please, Prakash, to cash account. Amount is going to be 500 and 500. Narration will be always written being whatever the narration is. Draw a line, leave a line also so that it becomes very distinguished. I do not like force students to leave a line, but if you do, It is very presentable. So why not to be presentable? Correct, madam? No, madam is sir, no? Okay. Chalo. Coming to the next question. Just let me put this on charging, better. Okay. Seventh is done. Now the eighth one. Withdrew from bank for personal use. So drawings account debit, bank account credit, again 500. So here the entry would be what? Correct? Now I need not keep on explaining each and every transaction. Now you are very uh, comfortable with this, right? Now Prakash, let's say that this was the end of the transaction for your question. Okay, this was the end. So again, in this case, what you will do is you will take the total. I believe the answer would be 1,65,000. This is going to be 1,65,000, and this is going to be your total. Am I very clear with this, Prakash? Too good. So here, the total of this. So we'll take this, and this, the 165, and you just add the total, and then this question is done. Okay. Summing up, if the question is still remaining, you'll take the balance CF, you'll bring it to the new page, that is balance BF, and when the question is done, you write the total, take the total, done. Definitely, there are many transactions that we need to record. यहाँ पे बहुत सारे transactions है, I know that, है ना? But I believe I can give you to try it out. You send me the picture. If it is wrong, I'll tell you what it is. And if it is right, so definitely you'll have to try it at some point of time. So I can just move ahead. And I believe 8 transactions का posting is more than enough for you to understand. In fact, to be very honest, Prakash, 5 also was enough. But I'm like, ठीक है ना, you're a smart child. But we'll practice a little. It doesn't harm us to take 5-10 minutes more. That's fine. Correct, Prakash? Okay. Now let me quickly go to the. So what I'm expecting from you, Prakash, is you do all the transactions from here. Every go line by line. I might have named as A B C D E I and all that afterwards, but you go line wise only. I have done 8 transactions. You start with 9, 10, 11, and then when you're done with this 11, 13, this is I have started with 1, 2, 3 because for the purchase related transaction. You start with 12, 13, and 14 and all that things. Correct? So I guess you have a lot of work to do. Start it off. Okay. If you haven't written it, this is the screen. I'll give you 2 to 5 minutes. Quickly write it, or if you can pause also. We have an option of pausing the video and fatafat se write it, so that we can go to the next part. If anything that is not understood, definitely you can comment down, or else I am going to get connected with you on call. And also, if you feel like this is going a little bouncer, just rewind a little. We have that option in this, है ना? चलो. Prakash, I'm pausing it for a while, one minute approximately. Just copy it down, huh?
we'll take the question ka screenshot only. Prakash, it will be very easy for us to like do it from there only. Otherwise यहाँ से करना पड़ेगा अपने को. चलो भाई. This is the journal in the books of Mr. Anand. Okay. So here it is. Hmm. यहीं से we can zoom it and do the calculation parts and all that भाई. Here it is. Okay. चलो. Starting first things first. First तो बच्चे I'll have to like make the format. Now what I'll do is I'll make the format and like keep it with us for the next questions also, because we are going to do we are going to do many questions on this. This is going to be your date column, Prakash. Correct now? This is going to be your credit column. This is going to be your debit column, and you'll also have a LF, that is ledger folio. Correct, Prakash? Too good. Chalo. This is your format, date, particulars, and all that. We'll write it, and then we'll just take the photo and keep it. We'll keep on copy pasting it. We'll do the copy paste part for every question. Date, particulars, ledger folio, debit, and credits. This is a journal. Whatever the journal in the books of whoever it is, we'll write every time this way. Done. Okay. Chalo. We'll just remove this for a minute. Copy and the paste. ठीक है ना? Here is the question. Chalo. Let's start with this. Okay. Stay here na bro. Nonsense. Okay. Prakash, journalize the following transaction in the books of Anand General Merchants. Okay. So you are Anand. You are the business Anand General Merchant. 1st April 2019. So I'll write here 2019 April 1st. Okay. The transaction. Now Prakash, we are not writing the analysis. Huh? We are trying to do it directly. But this is the very first question. So for some transaction, I'll be mentioning the analysis, but in very short. Correct? So that we don't have any doubts. But as we proceed for the next questions, we are not going to write the analysis. We are directly doing the journal part. Chalo. Can we start with this? Mr. Anand started business with cash. So your two accounts are affected. One is cash and one is capital. Prakash, we'll pay attention here first, and then afterwards I'll give you time to write. Don't worry. So cash is going to be debited and capital is going to be credited. Pakka na? Too good. Amount is 60,000. So here in the uh, journal, you're going to write it in this manner. Cash account debit. I'll leave two finger space. I'll write two capital account amounts in the debits for 60,000, amounts in the credits for this credit column 60,000. Narration always in the question being business started with cash. And that's done. Paka, that's a first transaction. April 1st. The next transaction is on April 5th. So what you can do it, write it in this way also. 5th of April 2019. There are different ways of doing it, right? I'll follow this format because I have been using this format only. The next transaction is purchase goods for cash. So Prakash, there two accounts will be affected. One is purchases and one is cash. Chalo, tell me one thing. We have done a lot of question and we have by hearted this actually. है ना, that purchase will always be debited and cash is always credited because the paisa is going out. I won't say always credited. I would say whenever you are purchasing, so you'll have to make the payment, and if you are making the payment, paisa goes out. That's why credit. Perfect now. So the entry becomes purchase account debit to cash account. Amount is 30,000. So here it is purchases account debit to cash account 30,000. Narration always it starts with being, huh? Correct now? Too good. The next transaction, Prakash, it is on 7th of April. Sold goods to Suresh. Chalo. Two accounts. One is going to be Suresh and one is going to be sales. Sir, Suresh is debited, cash is sales is credited. Again, in this question, I need not explain it to you because we have done a lot of questions where purchase was debited, sales was credited. Perfect now? Now the question that arises, Prakash, is why did you debit Suresh? Why didn't you debit cash account? A valid doubt, huh? In this question, why did you debit Suresh? You could have written cash, na cash account debit to sales account. That also would have been a right entry. But no. In this question, they have said sold goods to Suresh. Have they said that the payment was received? They did not. In the transaction, did they use the word cash? So when they are not using the word cash, that means the payment wasn't received. So if the payment is not received, it's a credit transaction. It's a credit transaction, and if it is a credit transaction, you write the name. That's why the entry would be Suresh account debit to cash account. The date is 7th of April 2019. Suresh account debit. I don't know amount to what sales account, and the amount is 10,000 for the sales. So here I'm going to write 10,000 and 10,000. The narration, bache, narration is going to be being whatever it is, being goods sold to Suresh on credit, whatever you want, right? You can write it. But that's a transaction. Do you understand this, Munna? Easy now. Okay. Now the next one. Bache, on the 10th of the April, on the 10th of the month, purchased a furniture from Mr. Govind on credit. See, here the confusion is not there only because they are specifically telling you that it is on credit. So here two accounts will be affected. One is going to be no purchase, sir, I have made a mistake. Here we will be writing furniture, and you will be writing Mr. Govind. Furniture is bought, so it has to be debited, and Mr. Govind is the giver, so it has to be credited. Now, listen to this very carefully, Prakash. I told you that day also that whenever there is a purchase of goods, you use the word purchase, but whenever you are purchasing an asset, you would write the name of the asset. We did the transaction, in the very first, I guess this was the third or fourth transaction only. So if you have purchase of goods, so it has to be purchases. But if you have purchase of a furniture or purchase of a machinery or any asset, and Prakash, I did not explain it to you again that there is a difference between goods and furniture. Goods are purchased for the purpose of resale, बेचने के लिए लिया है सर आपने, एंड असेट यू हैव बीन टेकन फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ यूसेज, यूज करने के लिए लिया है सर, है ना. So here two accounts will be affected, furniture and Mr. Govind, and the amount is 30,000. So the date is 10th of the month. So 10th 19, furniture account debit to Mr. Govind account. Amount is going to be 30,000. Do you understand this, sir? And the total. Correct. Too good, yeah. Now the next one. Bacha, quickly. Paid rent 3,000 and paid it by debit card. Lovely. Now see, Prakash, debit card, whenever you swipe the debit card, the amount goes from your bank. So if the amount is going out from your bank, the bank account is credit. That is very easy for us to understand. Now, they have said that the amount has been paid for rent. So can I say whenever you pay any amount for any expense or something, this becomes a nominal account? Yes or no? So rent is a nominal account, and if it is an expense, it has to be debited because you know that debit all expense and losses. I hope you do remember. We did this over here. Have a look. The nominal account rule. So rent is going to be your expense, so it has to be what? Debited. And the amount has been paid by the credit debit card, that is bank. So bank is the giver, bank is credited. So the entry becomes rent account debit to bank account. Correct na, sir? Very easy. Too good, sir. So 15th of April 2019, the entry would be rent account debit to what? To the bank account. Amount is 3,000. Narration, to you know, beta, what you need to write. 21st, paid purchase goods from Urmila on credit. Sir, again, this becomes very easy. Now the purchase will be debited, Urmila will be credited, amount is going to be 70,000, the date is 21st. Easy. So purchases account debit to Urmila account, that is going to be credited. Amount is said to be 70,000. So Urmila से purchase कर लिया है goods for 70,000. Every time this narration has to be written. So I am not writing, but I'll keep on reminding after every transaction that you need to write it. Correct, sir? We'll draw up a line. Now see, I don't think so I will be able to fit in one more transaction. So what I'll do is, I'll take the total. And this is called as balance, which is going to be carried forward. So here, balance, carry forward, and the total. So can you help me out with this, Prakash? 60, 90, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 30, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 2 lakh 3,000. Prakash, I'm getting the answer as 2 lakh 3,000. The best part in this is that we can revise it again. है ना? You can go through this question again and again. I am not going to delete this, bache. I'll give you the link also, and this will be available for only for us only. Nobody else can view it. Okay, so don't worry about that. Balance brought forward, sir. That is going to be 2 lakh 3,000. So next question, next transaction, 27. Paid to United, paid transport, paid, sir. Whenever the paid word is used, that means the cash is in gone. Do you understand? Prakash, paid, na? So how are you going to pay? You're going to pay it by cash only. Is there any means of other exchange that you're going to accept? No. I want cash. Khatam ho gaya. Yes or no? So cash is the best medium of exchange. So here you are paying for transport 1,000. So here this is going to be your expense. The date is 27th if I am not wrong. So 27th 7th of April 2019. Here I am going to write transport expense, transportation expense or transport expense account debit, or transport charges account debit to what? To cash account. Now many of you are always worried that, sir, what if I write transport charges, I write transportation charges? It's okay. It's just the name of an account. But you cannot write any bhalta valta names and all. You cannot write rent over here because this is not a rent expense. Okay, so transport expense, transport charges, transport account debit, that also is fine. Correct? Chalo. And the amount is 1000. Now the narration being whatever it is, and then done. The last transaction, Prakash, the last transaction for the question. A very interesting one. Huh? So listen to this very carefully. Paid to Urmila 20,000. We are paid. So can I say cash is going out? So cash will be credited. That is for sure. Now listen to this. On behalf of Sharmila. On behalf of Sharmila. See, my money is going out of the pocket. So first, I want to write one thing which I am very clear about is 30th of the month, the last day. I am paying, so cash is going out. So to cash account, I am booking the cash by 20,000. Now my question is, I have to debit one item that, and I know either it will be Urmila or it is going to be Sharmila. Either of these two names. Do you understand that? Yes or no? But now the question arises that this or this. Let us break down the transaction. This is me who is making the payment. So definitely cash is going out, so I have credited that. Now I have paid to Urmila. Okay, let's forget about the on behalf of Sharmila wala part. Let's forget. When I am making the payment to Urmila, definitely I will be receiving it from her only. Now Prakash, if I pay you any amount, I will receive the amount from you only because I paid you. That's a basic. That's common sense. So basically, here I should write Urmila because I paid to her, so I'll receive from her. That's it. Simple logic. Basic है ये, है ना? Now listen to this. Huh? I had to actually pay to Sharmila. Now let's say I stay at location A, Sharmila stays at location B, and Urmila stays at location B. Okay, and she happens to come. How do I do this? Okay, ठीक है. Let's say this is me. I have to make the payment to Urmila. Okay, I had to make the payment to Sharmila. This is I had to make the payment. Had to pay. Okay, I had to make the payment to Sharmila, but Sharmila went out of town. So Sharmila told me that you do one thing, na, you pay to Urmila. She will give it to me. बोला ठीक है ना. So in this situation, I actually paid to Urmila and she will be paying it to Sharmila. So ultimately, I paid to Sharmila. So whenever in this case, whenever you have on behalf of something, na, so we have to write Sharmila. The person who will be ultimately be benefited with 20,000. Correct? है? That's a simple thing. Now, if फिर भी अगर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो just think in that way. You gave a check to X person. ठीक है. So definitely you are not going and making the payment. The payment is been done through bank. So bank is the medium. So in this also, this Urmila is just a medium that she is going to deliver the amount to Sharmila. So bhale you have paid to Urmila, but it was on behalf of Sharmila. So you'll write Sharmila. Correct? It's a little trickier, but I hope you understood this. फिर भी नहीं है, just comment down. I'll definitely come back and we'll solve it out. Okay, Sharmila. Prakash. आपको नहीं शर्म करना है प्रकाश. You don't have to be Sharmila in this. चलो. That is a question. See, this is the solution. What I'll be doing is, Prakash, I'll be taking the total. See, it's a very basic thing. Total. And here, what you'll be taking the total is of this page. That's it. So 2,03,000 plus 21,000. I believe that answer will 2,24,000. So here the total will be 2,24,000. Do you understand this, Munna? Paka? Done. So this is the question number one. I have the question also with you. Question number one, page number. I am going to share the screenshot of the question also, and you just have to write it down quickly, sir. Quickly start writing with this in your notebook.